Well, that aged terribly, didn't it? James Charles is mugging us off. I've written some notes and they're all in capitals. I'm confused. I'm not going to go on some sort of tirade. I'm just confused more than anything. So James Charles has been caught being inappropriate with a young fan of his, a 16-year-old. And I feel like after the Bi Sister scandal, controversy happened, a lot of people, including myself, were willing to give James the benefit of the doubt, as if anyone should care about my benefit of the doubt. But nonetheless, I feel like most people were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt time and time again, because let's be real, it was a bad thing that happened to him. The Bi Sister thing, it was awful. And before anyone asks, well, does this validate Tati, Shane, Jeffrey? Tati lost all credibility when she went back to being friends with James, if all of these allegations are true. But we know that the allegation of him sending his nudes to a minor via Instagram or TikTok, is true because he's admitted it himself. So let's start with his tweet and go from there. This is what he put on Twitter. There's a video going around about me on TikTok and Twitter of a guy calling me a groomer, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I've groomed this person is completely false. Last week, I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me and added him on Snapchat. Firstly, why? This person is 16, so firstly, why? The next morning, I woke up to several snaps from this person being excited I added him back, saying he loved me, and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. I asked how old he was right away. He told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. Flirting, funny word for sexting, but okay. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could potentially be great. Oh, what a load of crap, as if you're going to be meeting your future husband over TikTok, James. I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport. It's now clear, based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. They're 16. They're 16. I'm not denying that there are going to be some people out there who will try to extort and take advantage of celebrities and rich people, of course. But this person is 16, so less of the victim blaming with the had an ulterior motive from the beginning, like he's this manipulative mastermind. He's a 16-year-old, for Christ's sake. Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologised for flirting. But he insisted on continuing talking, saying it could be our little secret. He's a fan of mine and would never tell anyone. I told him I wasn't okay with this. He started getting upset, and at that point I unfriended him. We haven't spoken since. I'm not victim blaming him or victimizing myself either. Simply sharing what happened, and what happened was not okay. After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with anyone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats. Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I will now ask to see the ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with. The replies to this, I mean, I know it's his fans, but it's giving me an aneurysm reading the replies to this. I don't understand why people keep doing this to you. Literally, what the fuck? Since this TikTok boy came out, there have been a further 3 people who have come out with their experiences by James. And one of the main points of the Bi Sister controversy in the first place was James Charles being inappropriate with men, as stated by Tati. So if this keeps happening time and time again, how can James really sit there and keep saying that it's just these awful boys who keep lying about their age to him, and it's never him being the perpetrator? Someone commented with the meme saying, I ain't reading all that, I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. The fact that you even have to do this, have a consensual relationship with someone, is terrible. Do you know what is terrible? James Charles trying to date his Your fan base is not there for you to date. Let's ignore the age thing for a moment. Even if this person was the same age as you, 21 and 21, I think it's so unhealthy for you to date a fan. The power dynamic between the two would be so unstable, because here is a person that puts you on a pedestal, doesn't see you as an actual human being with flaws and feelings of your own, just sees you as this idealized version that they exist only in their head or only in, like, you know, the public media sphere or whatever. You know that clip of him on Impulsive that people are passing around where he says that mentally he's about 40 years old? Okay. That's why he hangs around with 16 to 18-year-olds, sure, because he's mentally 40. and that he's looking for someone to settle down with. He is looking for a boyfriend. He said that because I listened to that episode of Impulsive when it came out. Don't judge me. I was bored. Sometimes when I'm grinding on like a Final Fantasy game, I like to put on a mindless podcast. I picked Impulsive that day because James Charles was on it. And yes, he said that at this point in his life, he's looking for someone to share this life that he has with. So you say you want a boyfriend, but then you message fans, people who are on is it a power thing? Because they will be on it, because that's an uneven relationship. I'm not saying that the person James Charles has to date has to be famous in a capacity, but what are you going to get out of a relationship with, he's 21, so let's say an 18-year-old, what are you going to get out of a relationship with an 18-year-old who's, I don't know, what are you, with your height of success and fame, going to get out of it? And that's not me being classist in any way. James Charles lives in a completely different world from the average 18 to 21-year-old on TikTok regardless. And the fact that these are your fans, I would say it would be even hard to have a friendship with a fan if they idealize you to such an extent that you're no longer a real person. I don't know about you, but my ego isn't so fragile that I would need to be around someone gassing me up 24/7. It would be so annoying. But I'm used to my friends who all secretly hate me, so maybe that's just me. So, James Charles, if you are looking for a boyfriend, why are you not using Riot, which is a dating app specifically catered towards elites, their words, not mine, ew, specifically catered towards celebrities, famous people, millionaires, whatever. I do find this all very confusing though, because he's James Charles and he comes across as smart. And he must know that since the bi-sister controversy, or even without the bi-sister controversy, he's got such a large platform, there will be people watching his every move, trying to look for a way to have an issue with him or take him down. So why are you just like giving people reasons to have an issue with you? Like, I know that people are using the word predator, and after the whole bi-sister thing, I don't feel comfortable using that word about public figures. I just don't. And that's on me, so it's fine. But if he is acting like a predator, he's not doing... That sounds weird, me saying he's not doing a very good job, but he's James Charles. Does he feel invincible because everyone's given him the benefit of the doubt so much after bi-sister that he feels that he can get away with this? Does he think that he's genuinely not doing anything wrong when he accidentally sends nudes to a minor? Also, not to sound like a boomer, because look, a lot of people have sent nudes. Bit odd though to get into a conversation with someone, and because the minor, I'm not using what they've said here, but I've watched enough videos about it. If you want much more detail, can't believe I'm about to say this, watch the Frenemies podcast, like the clips, the highlights about this, because they go through what the 16-year-old said. In one of the Snapchats, James says something along the lines of how he was like masturbating whilst they were snapping, so can you send some pictures of your body or something like that. So, right, you're James Charles, net worth 22 million. You've just started speaking to someone because you followed them, because you saw that they followed you or whatever, right? And you send them a nude straight when you're James Charles. This whole situation is so confusing to me, like, because he comes across as smart, well spoken anyway, seems to be good at maths. So to me, he comes across as quite smart. But that doesn't seem like a smart... And that's not me saying, oh, never send nudes to anyone. Well, certainly don't send nudes to minors, but surely, and let's leave the age at the door for a second, surely if you're going to send nudes to someone, you'd want there to be some basis or semblance of trust, considering that you are so successful that if that stuff got leaked, it would get in the news. This isn't, he sent nudes to a long-term boyfriend. This is, he sent nudes to a 16-year-old who he barely knew. Like, barely knew enough that he didn't realise was 16. And on top of that, they're a fan of yours, so sending a nude to even if the person was 22, sending a nude to a fan that you barely know, that's just a recipe for disaster. Oh, I must sound like a bit of a boomer. I don't want to come across as a boomer, right? I just don't understand why he feels so untouchable when, look, the bi-sister thing had every chance of him not being able to come back from that. And I think he must know that. So why would you feel so invincible after you had, like, such a controversy on YouTube that it hit across all the mainstream media? There was that big. There's something not right here. I don't want to seem like I'm overthinking it, but I think I kind of am overthinking it a bit, because that's the kind of mindset that I'm in this week. I'm just overthinking a lot of things. I just don't understand why you would be this stupid. Me saying that is on the basis that he's not being malicious. If he's not being malicious, then it's just so stupid. But if he's not being stupid, then it's completely insidious. I know some people like Trisha have brought up that he's friends with Charlie D'Amelio, who's 16 years old, and he's 21, so that's unhealthy. To be honest, I've never really mentioned that before, because I just kind of saw it as this is a business decision for the pair of them, because it's mutually beneficial. They get to exchange audiences. Of course, he's going to want to be friends with her. She has 100 million followers on TikTok. I thought it was like how the Sister Squad, the Dolan twins and Emma Chamberlain, was most likely a business decision. It's LA, it's Hollywood. Yeah, you can. I'm not saying the friendships are fake, but you can definitely fake friendships for money. Of course you can. But now, in light of this, because the thing is, if it was one person saying James Charles has inappropriately messaged me or whatever, then there's leeway with that. If there's just one person out of millions saying it, you can look at it a bit more like, is there an extortion going on? Is there something else? But when it's several people, and when the original scandal that he got in so much trouble for had some facets of this current issue, and the fact that in his little notepad explanation thing, he said he will just ask the IDs and passports from boys, from men, from now on. Not that he'll stop messaging random people. Oh, now I do sound like a boomer, messaging random people that you don't know on the internet, messaging like random young men. Not that he'll stop, just he'll start asking for their IDs. If this really is about you feeling lonely and wanting a boyfriend, download Raya, stop being stupid. If there's something more insidious going on, well, that TikToker has apparently gone to the police, so I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Oh, that's it. In his replies, someone said you should stop flirting, period, with anyone on social media, especially if you've been high profile as it is. I figured you had learned your lesson by now. And then someone replied saying, so he's just supposed to stay single forever. And it got like 1.8 thousand. What is going on with Twitter? What is wrong with Twitter? No, he's not supposed to just stay single forever, but he probably can ask one of the Kardashians to set him up on a blind date with some dude. Like, you don't need to be going through your fan base for sexual gratification. What the fuck? The fact that you got to ask for identification nowadays because people can't be truthful is the real problem. I think the real problem is James Charles. End of sentence? No, it's James Charles trying to flirt with his own... This trend of accusing people of sexual allegations for clout is not okay and needs to stop. James admitted that, like, they flirted, they sexed. So he's 21. He's the young adult in this situation. A 16-year-old is a minor. He also said, I'm not trying to get out of anything. No matter what happened, it was unacceptable, embarrassing, and I should have taken the extra steps to research the person I was talking to. There is no excuse. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is on me. It would be nice to believe that. But you are the adult, the young adult in this situation. So you can't be affording to... If they are mistakes, oh, that is the biggest benefit of the doubt ever, isn't it? I know why I'm trying to be so reasonable, because if you get stuff like this wrong or say the wrong thing, it can have massive ramifications. But the facts are, he exchanged news with a minor. Whether they lied about their age or not, you're the adult. The famous celebrity, multi-millionaire adult. It's your responsibility to vet who you're talking to. And not what, like, why are you trying to sex with your fans? I'm really not on board with unbalanced power dynamics within sexual relations, specifically between like celebrities, famous people, and their fans, because it is just rife for exploitation. There might be the odd case where actually it's worked out because the fan has seen the celebrity as more than a human, and the celebrity isn't a massive asshole who just wants to take advantage of someone's, like, you know, unwavering devotion or whatever. There are probably some cases where, like, that's the exception, but as a rule, I think it's gross, and you shouldn't be taking advantage. Like, if you're going to take advantage of people like that, then you shouldn't be in the position to be able to take them advantage. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yes, apparently the minor has gone to the police. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be fascinating, actually. I'm holding off my really severe judgment until then. At best, James Charles is just being an absolute donut. And at worst, he's being malicious. So we'll just have to find out. Anyway, that's my video on this. So if you want to see more, then do remember to like, comment, subscribe. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.